All right, I think I'm on video number 4 of this series for podcasts. What we're going to do next is you need to take whatever you have written or whatever you've said in your podcast. We did the extraterrestrial alien for this example, the poem. And you want to actually go through and add sounds. So let me show you my example. This is the poem, part of the poem that I read. And as I was reading through this and kind of thinking through this before I recorded, okay, so before I recorded, I went into the GarageBand, those Apple loops for the toy box, and I kind of went through the different noises and thought, okay, what would bouncing sound like? If an alien was bouncing in my bedroom, what would it sound like? And so as I was coming up and I was in the Apple loops, I was like, all right, that's not going to sound like it. Maybe it'll sound like this. All right, that sounds kind of like a bop. So what I did was I just highlighted that in my text and then kind of wrote off to the side what sound I wanted to use, okay? So once you have that done, you're going to actually go into your GarageBand. So I'm right here and I am listening. This is the podcast that I recorded earlier. And so I'm just going to play it, and I'm looking over my notes and I'm looking for the word bouncing. So when I get to bouncing, I'm going to stop it.
An extraterrestrial alien I never expected to meet is bouncing.
Okay, so right there is bouncing. So right there in that kind of general area, I want to add a sound called Bot Talk FX02. Okay, so I went back to the loops, okay, and then did Bot Talk FX02. And when I just kind of click and drag and add it to this next line, but I want it to be right where I had noted in my notes of what I wanted it to be. And so now it sounds, let me back it up a little bit.
Alien I never expected to meet is bouncing about in my bedroom.
Okay, so I've added that next line. And so every time you add a sound, you kind of add a new line. So the next one I'm looking for is plummeting out of the sky.
On half of its 44 feet. It made its appearance this morning when it plummeted.
All right, so right there is kind of plummeted.
When it plummeted.
All right, so now I want mini sub passing. They're in alphabetical order. Mini. And sometimes they're not called what you think they're called. You got to kind of think about, what it could sound like and be creative. So I'm going to click and drag, and I made it another line, and I want it to be right there, pretty much where that white line is. So I'm going to drag my arrow at the top.
It made its appearance this morning when it plummeted out of the sky without a protective.
Okay. Don't worry about, I'll show you in the very last video how to do the sounds and how to change the sounds. But what you're going to do is you're going to go through, because we can change the volume. I said sounds. I meant volume. We're going to go through and change the volume of this in another video. But just go through now and get all of your sounds all in one place. All right, bye for now.